bring in our special space panel now. Joining us, former NASA astronaut, International Space Station Commander Scott Kelly, former NASA engineer Homer Hickam, and aerospace medicine specialist at the Mayo Clinic, Dr. Michael Harrison. Scott, I want to talk with you. You spent 340 days up in space, and in part to do tests on what it meant for the body. You've done this splashdown and felt what they're feeling now. What is it like?
Procedure for.
Well, Brett, thanks for having me on. I've never done a splashdown. I flew 2 shuttle missions and 2 missions on the Russian Soyuz. And as you know, the Russian Soyuz doesn't land in water, it lands in land. But, when you're on in space for that long a period of time, it does affect our physiology. Our bodies and humans evolved in gravity, and gravity plays an important role in how our systems function, particularly your cardiovascular system, your bones, your muscles. And I flew a long duration flight for 5 months, and then I did my second long duration flight was 11 months. And there was a significant difference in how I felt when I returned. I was on the longer flight, I was more tired, my vestibular system, meaning that I was dizzy. I was dizzier than I was. My cardiovascular system was affected much more. When I would stand up, my legs would swell. That was pretty concerning. I had hives and rashes anywhere my skin had any pressure on it. Had not had that pressure for such a long time. And that's something I didn't experience in the 5-month mission. So, Butch and Sunny might feel a little bit different, a little bit worse than they did on their previous long duration flights.
Yeah, I should point out you may look familiar because you're the twin brother of Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. And they, in fact, did a study, the twin study, to look at how both of you, your bodies were different when you came home, right?
Yeah, that's right. We did a study that most of it was genetic. There was some other cognitive tests, some other, a bunch of different scientific research that was done on Mark and I, and most of the results were as they kind of expected. I think as the hypothesis predicted, but some were not. As an example, my telomeres got better while I was on the space station, and those are the ends of our chromosomes. And as we get older, they get damaged and more frayed, really an indication of our physical age. And as on this particular flight, when I was up there for a really long time, they actually got better compared to my brother. Initially, we thought that was due to diet and exercise, but later we learned from this experiment that our telomeres can be exercised by radiation, and they can get, physically, go in the direction of being better and younger. Now that actually went back to normal months after, but it was one of the more interesting parts of the study.
That's really interesting. I want